So to create our stitch, what we're going to do is we're going to take the other two parts of the press stud, and using the electronic thread, we're going to sew them both onto the piece of felt. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to sew on the press stud, but I'm going to sew it into this bottom right hand corner. Okay, if you're left-handed, you can do it in the other corner. So remember, this is going to create the connection to between the two press studs on the product. So just a few stitches, 3 stitches each side. It doesn't matter about the back, and I'll show you why in a moment. Onto the third one. Remember, this is really sharp, so don't pull your thread too tight because it will cut the thread. Sorry, 3 times, and then to the last one. So 1, 2, making sure you actually do get some of the thread, the material. Sometimes you sew it and you're not actually joining it to the thread, the material, so you can see here that I have, because I've come through. Now what I need to do is I need to just make sure, just check how wide mine are. So I know that I'm going to need to sew my other one here. Now I'm just going to put a very small dot, okay, here, tiny dot, okay. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to sew, you see that little dot there? I'm going to sew across, because remember, we're creating a switch and the thread needs to connect the two press studs together. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back again, just so that we know that they are all connected. And then using my last press stud, doesn't matter if it's a little bit out, because remember, it is fabric, so it will bend a little bit. I'm then going to sew this last one on here. Now again, as long as I've sewn on 2 of the holes, I can sew the other one on with just ordinary threads, because it only needs to connect to one hole to make it a conductor. I should be able to do all of them. Okay, so I've just done 2 or 3 stitches on each one. 1, 2, 3, and then I'm going to go through to the back, and then I'm just going to do what I did before, a couple of stitches to make an anchor. And remember, I go back through the loop to make it into a knot. I'm going to do that again, like that, and then I cut the end off like that. Okay, so this is my switch. If I want to, I can just test it again, just because it's great fun to test it. Make sure the switch works. Ta-da! Switch works. But it looks a little bit messy, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold this in. Sorry, it looks a bit messy. Don't want to stick it on there like that, because it'll look messy, and also you might catch this thread and it might break. So I'm just going to fold that in half and use a pin, a couple of pins. Okay, you can see the fabric's a bit long on this side, so I'm just going to trim it down a little bit, like that. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to get another piece of thread, and I'm going to do blanket stitch all the way around the edge, and then it goes up through here, tuck it down there like that, make 1 stitch on the edge, and before it disappears, go through the loop, and then you carry on going all the way around. Okay, with the thread going towards the end, over the edges. Pulling it nice and tight so it joins the two together and creates that nice little stitch. I'm going to do this last stitch twice. Catch the loop in there. Go around those two stitches together like that. And then do the knot like I did before. So put the needle through the thread, take it back through the loop, pull it tight. And again, put the needle through the thread just before the loop disappears. Put the needle. If you put the needle through the loop too quickly, you'll get a knot too high up. You don't really want it too high up like that. Okay, and then you can pop that on. Pop, pop, and it works. Now, if you leave that in your bag and it accidentally touches, you can see that it will do that. And to change the cell, you have to unpick it. So what you're best to do is to get a pin and to pin that up there like that, so it doesn't stay there like that. That's it, all done.